Good morning, guys. So I have another little project that I'm doing with the M5. Excuse me. I have the servotronic issue that pops up after about 10 minutes of driving. So that is the SZL module. Apparently there's a way you can go about it that's DIY inside the steering column here. And it is a optic reader disc that's inside the column. So I went ahead and popped off the steering wheel, or the center cap airbag, which is actually quite simple. There's a hole underneath. Let me see if I can show you. Where do you go? Well, here. So I popped this off, and inside you have these. This is what you're pushing up on, this bar, because that releases those hooks. Okay. And then this thing just pops, this airbag pops right out. But you have to get it to the hole inside here. All right, so you take a screwdriver. Oh, wrong screwdriver. You can see the screwdriver actually going through there. And you're pushing up on that bar. Okay? And then that will release the airbag. All right, pretty straightforward. It took like 30 seconds. All right, so then you got these tabs you have to disconnect. So the airbag tab goes here, and then this is what continues through, you know, all your button functions and whatnot. So that comes off. Then you get to this point. And then underneath you have that little hole. I don't have any light, sorry. I'll put my finger in it there. There's a notch right there that this screw will come out of, and then this cover is plastic clips that just pops right off. And actually, looking back, I didn't really have to take that screw out, but I may take the remainder of this off, so I'll just stick with it there. So this is the inside of the steering column. Very dirty, very, you know, which explains why this optic reader behind here went bad to begin with. All right, so totally understandable. So let me get going on the rest of this because I'm doing it one-handed here, and then I'll catch you up in a sec. Okay, so there's one, there's one behind there, and there's one inside there. Okay, there's 4 total, and they're long bolts that look like this. So we're going to take all those out and get this puppy out of there. I may have to take off these yet. Let me take a quick look. Let me give it a shot. Okay, so these bolts will have to come out as well. And then you have to pop this portion down because the foam gets in the way, right? And then you have to kind of pop these ears out around this center portion, and then it comes out. Okay, so again, I'm doing this one-handed. So let me get this. You can see it's loose, so all I gotta do is get it out, disconnect the wires, and then I can get the rest of it out. So let me do that. All right, so behind this is gonna be 2 plugs. This one has a button on the bottom you gotta hit to release, and this one has a button here that you'll have to press on the back side of this. This I just used a screwdriver, poked it, popped right out. This one as well. Once you find the button, you can get your fat fingers in there and hit it. So there we go. Now this is ready for disassembly, and we can clean the optic ring inside of here. Okay, so now we're inside on an old table, so I don't mess up anything that I care about. We'll take all these loose. These are T10s, by the way, and they should lift right out. Okay, we'll set them aside in the same orientation that they were in. And there's no wires, it's just the plugs at the bottom, so no worries there. And they'll lift right out so we can put them like so, how they were inside the car. Okay, this I'm not going to worry too much about, so we got to get the cover off and get to the inside where the optic ring is. Alright, so to get this off, pop this off, and there's tabs right there. And there's another one, I'm trying to do this blind here. There's another one there, and it just pop and lifts off. So we'll set that aside. And now we need to verify the orientation between these two to verify that they are still going to be straight when you put it back together. Alright, so the thing is aligned and you're not getting more alarms. Alright, now that I got the backing plate screws out, one there, these are T9 by the way, there's one there and there's one there. This is going to lift right off. Well, of course it's going to be stubborn. I'll get these little screws out of the way. They're not very tight. A couple of foot-pounds, if that. More like inch-pounds, you know, everything's so light it's measured in inch-pounds. Alright, it's starting to fight me, so let me get my other hand in there and pluck this part. Alright, so got that popped off. There's the back cover. This is the optic ring. This looks like a CD with a big hole in the middle. So that's what we're going to get off. So remember the orientation. Okay, this one has like a beveled, excuse me, beveled edge on it, so it shouldn't get flopped over backwards. But just in case, I'll be referring to this video later, just for my own sanity, because this is my first time doing this. And then we'll get it put back together. So in the meantime, on the back, there's these little tabs that we got to depress. See if we can get a good shot of those, and then pop this thing out, and then we can clean that disc and put it back together. Alright, with a gentle push, it popped right out. So basically all I did was push on a couple of these. It got cocked a little bit sideways inside this shaft, inside of here, and then push on the other side and it popped right out. So there you go, pretty simple stuff. And it is not reversible, so even a goober like me won't get this thing in backwards. Okay, so I got my electric cleaner. Just bought a new can of this stuff, I was out. And I got some shop towels and lint-free rags. Okay, the last thing we need is to bugger this thing up with some lint. And then we'll just reverse the process, get it slapped back in and put back in the car, and we'll see how smart I am. Alright, got it all wiped off, got it popped back in. It literally pops right back into place where it came out. And yeah, very, very, very simple stuff. Just to give you an idea, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but that was just off the disc, all that dirt. It's hard to see, but it was dusty in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get my air gun and blow this thing out really quick, and then finish all the reassembly. The reassembly is going to be as simple as everything going back on exactly the way it came off. Nothing particular, nothing special. Very simple stuff. Okay, so I'll show it step by step in case you get all turned around backwards, or in case I get turned around backwards. Then we'll sort it out in the end. All right, I got the backing plate back on with these 4 little screws. One there and one there. Also check this connector, make sure that's tight. You don't want that coming out after you put all this back together. Then you get to do it all over again. How fun would that be? Alright, so we'll put this in next. Make sure that snaps into place. Oh, wait, hold on. We gotta check our orientation marks. Let's not botch this up now. Oops. There we are. Alright, now slap this in, put together our turn signals and all those things. Sorry, I'm doing one thing and looking at another. And put these guys on, tighten those up. It's all pretty straightforward stuff. Oh, one fell out. Okay, and then put the other one in, and then we fiddle it back into the car, and then finish that reassembly. Alright, so that concludes the video for changing out the, or cleaning rather, the SZL module, the little optic disc. Remember, whatever screws you take out, pay attention to how tight they came out, because you're going to put them back that way. A full disassembly, I think, is the best route to go, just because Well, let's face it, the newest one of these is 10 years old. So that plastic is probably getting pretty brittle and whatnot, especially if you're down in a hotter climate. So, you know, be tender with it, be gentle, don't break too much of the plastic, don't break any of the plastic. And then you shouldn't have any problem whatsoever. I got mine snapped back together, of course. Everything's good. I go beyond the 10-minute drive mark and I don't get the SZL or the servotronic trouble code popping up. So everything seems to be good to go at this point. I'll take that and enjoy it. So, and not a hard job. The whole thing took an hour and 15. So much simpler than you think. It seems intricate and kind of intimidating, but it's really very, very simple. So give it a go. I think you'll impress yourself maybe. But pretty straightforward job, pretty easy to do. And it's something that you have to do from time to time because, you know, the dust and everything collects in those things. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Comments, suggestions, anything of that nature, please let me know. And this I'll be putting up for the winter soon. We're getting kind of a late winter. Here we are, November 12th, and we still don't have any snow. So that's very peculiar because we should be 2 weeks into this by now. But hey, more time to drive Mina, right? You guys enjoy, and we'll catch you on the next video.